Hi there, Loy Machedo, speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo? Think Personal Branding. Okay, I was just sitting down today. I was just sitting down and I don't know, I started to type. I got into the flow and I just managed to write down 41 predictions that I feel are going to happen in 2023. Okay, these are predictions of mine. I can be wrong, I can be right, but I want you to listen to the 41 predictions and tell me which one do you feel is, yeah, this is nonsense, or this one is, I see this happening, or you can say, okay, this one's interesting. So feel free to agree, disagree, whatever. I'll give you 41 of those, and let's see how many come right in 2023. Okay, so let's start. The first one is prediction number one of mine is stable companies that were doing very well since the start of the pandemic. They are going to crash, burn, and get destroyed because COVID was a very very specialized kind of event. So those companies that made tons of money and were booming, they are either going to scale down and be 10% of what they are, or they're going to go bankrupt, or they are going to disappear. And anyone and everyone working in those companies or invested in them, they will lose all their money. That's number one. Number two is Western nations, especially Western companies. If you're working in a Western multinational company, they will remove a lot of highly paid permanent staff, especially the ones who have worked very many years, because they would want to replace them with a new breed of employees with the same level of skill, as they want to cut down their expenses. Okay, and I'll tell you why that is later. The key focus will be new people who they can train, who can do the same job. They will also, Western companies will look at hiring immigrants or cheaper labor in third world countries, and they will try to set up regional offices or outsource stations in many areas, because the reason being is, in order to survive, you have to bring down your cost. So the highly paid big dogs, or their middle management, not the top CEOs and all, they'll be removed. So if you're one of them who has worked in a company 20, 25 years or 15 years, be very careful. Number three is new companies will spring up with new product offerings, new services, because obviously people want to do something or another. So they will be hiring people, but in these companies, they will not hire freshers. They will hire people with leadership experience. And here's the twist: they might end up hiring people even who are retired, people who have wealth of experience, but they need a job. So they will have a kind of agreement with them that if you can lead, percentage or something like that. But obviously, they will need them to be flexible. If they are the type who cannot work with youngsters, no. And yes, they would rather prefer someone with experience rather than someone who is totally lost and has to be trained. And with these new companies, they are not going to take youngsters, college freshers. Okay, point number four is lots of people who started online work, freelancing work, e-commerce, Spotify, whatever, Shopify. Okay, these people will close down their businesses because they would have realized how tough it is to do even these online coaches and all that, and they will be either pressurized by their family, or they'll go back into the corporate world, because I think they would have had they would have had enough by now. Okay, point number five is all companies, literally all, they're going to change their strategy for 2023, because it's post COVID. COVID is no longer there. And even if they are going to announce some diseases, whatever, they'd want to really focus hard, drive, and push for expansion, push for money, push for survival. They're tired of being let down, earning small, being small. So many of them will focus on major business strategies. Get ready for that. Point number six is this one will affect a lot of people in the middle class. Higher inflation, higher rents, expenses going high, people not being able to manage, stuff. Even people buying new things, they're not going to buy new things. Rather, they would rather go for discounted stuff or secondhand or whatever. So be careful on the inflation bit and focus on, like I've always told you, earning more rather than just saving. Yeah, and save unnecessary stuff, especially stuff that doesn't help you. Smoking, drinking, going out for parties, buying cars to show off. That's all bull. Like my wife was telling me, buy a car. I said, for what? Are you gone mad? Okay. Number seven, Those who opened their businesses this year, beginning of the year 2022, their business will increase in 2023 and it will increase 2024. But 2025 is where the decline phase will start. But those who start up the business in 2023, they are going to find it challenging. A lot of competitors will be there. Okay. Number 8, the most overhyped projects that had been announced, they are going to be quietly ignored and they're going to die a slow death, especially in the Middle East. Because the reason why they announced these projects was to make sure, the economy would run. Like, for example, Expo 2020, then this FIFA World Cup, all these big projects that were announced, the billions are going to come in, millions of visitors. After it finished off, it's going to be just like nobody is even going to talk about it. And the projects that they announced, they're going to build this skyscraper or this stadium, nothing is going to happen. Okay. Point number 9, Middle East, they will go back to their bad old habits. All big projects will be announced. Biggest building, biggest tower, largest airport, largest this, biggest shopping mall. Everything will be biggest, largest, greatest, and it's going to be like you're watching a movie, science fiction. Oh, this city will be everything will be AI, everything will be virtual reality, all this meta nonsense. Okay, that is also going to come, but it's all going to well, at least for time being, it'll give people jobs, but long term is, I doubt, out of let's say 100%, maybe 5% or 10%. 10 is also too gracious. I think 5% will succeed, but for the duration, people will be employed and have jobs. Point number 10 is plenty of problems with electric vehicles. Slowly, as electric vehicles come out, and people will realize these electric vehicles most of them were hype, because the carbon footprint is massive compared to fuels. And they will realize plenty of problems, from the expenses to maintenance to service charges, hidden charges, to the very fact that you can't reuse a battery after it's dead. So just watch my words on this. So people realize electric vehicles were all a fad. Okay. Point number 11 is people with experience, where employees or service providers, they will be in demand. Okay. However, they'll have to be flexible where their rates are concerned. Others, they would rather go with someone who is a bit reasonable. So because the higher expenses. Point number 12, the feminist, transgender, woke agenda, all these agendas that they have, Black Lives Matter, it'll slowly decline and it'll lose its. People will just get bored and fed up of this nonsense. Yes, Canada and other places, they'll try to be inclusive, but when they realize they are not getting increased number of votes, and by being woke, they're not making any money, even Disney, they will stop all this nonsense. Eventually, people get fed up and tired, because when you don't make money, what's the point of entertaining all this? Point number 13 is rise of temporary relationships. Surprisingly, women will be the forefront runners on this. Before, initially, it was women wanted to settle down and men would say no. Now, men would want to settle down and have a wife and family and all that, but women would not want. They would want a proper selection and the best partner. In most cases, they would say, if I'm earning, why should I settle down? So to get the real, high quality, as you call it, you get what I'm saying. The really intelligent ones, they would not want to marry and settle down. And they'll be very choosy, very picky, and very hard to keep happy. So guys who are not getting girls, you will find it harder to get girls. Point number 14 is there will be more homeschooling. There'll be a rise in that. Parents and people would not want to send their children to school to learn boring bullshit, nonsense, especially in the West, teaching them about all this sexual studies and race-based studies, and it's too much of confusion. You don't know whom to believe, whom to listen to. So homeschooling will increase, and they will rise in terms of teaching them real life skills rather than just giving them a degree but with no practical use. Point number 15, new diseases will be announced. Plenty of new diseases. And they'll want to scare people again, but it's not going to be effective like how they did with COVID, because with COVID, they took it really up a notch. People would rather die than have that nonsense all over again. Point number 16 is there will be a temporary rise of fake coaches, fake gurus, online coaches, like, the loudmouth like Andrew Tate and all that. There'll be a temporary rise, but eventually that will also fizzle off, give and take a year. And people will like, I'm just fed up of this. Because, yeah, it's fun when you listen to it initially, but that fizzle just vanishes. Then they realize they're just giving opinions. Everyone has an opinion, and you will have too many copycats over there. Point number 17 is people online will make a lot more lesser money, whether it's me, anybody else, will not make money like before, because obviously now no more COVID, so people will prefer the real thing. And even online service providers in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, many will jump. So when you have such a big selection, it becomes harder for everyone to make big money. Point number 18, I told you this, copycats will be plenty. So people will try to, let's say, for example, I'm having a personal branding coaching this thing style. I have videos, I have PDF, I have training courses. People will actually copy 1, 2, 3, all of it. They'll try to copy the template, and this will result in demand being less and people paying lesser money. Point number 19 is, before COVID, when all these unicorns were there, they were buying these other companies aggressively for billions and millions and all that. Case in point, Baiju. Now, these big companies are not going to bid or buy smaller companies because they'll realize, why should I pay billions for it? Just let me see if I can collaborate with them, or you make money, I make money, because then they will hold themselves accountable. They are fed up and tired of people giving them sun, moon, and stars prediction, but not being able to meet them. Point number 20 is many people will undergo, especially the working class, they will undergo cross-functional training. They will try their hand in freelancing. They will also try side businesses so they can make extra bit of money in places. And this will be very common with the youngsters, because they'll look at, okay, can I have multiple nests that can help me make money? So don't be very surprised if someone is working and invests in commodities and in property and in apartments and in partnership. All right. That doesn't mean they'll be successful, but they'll want to try all these things. Point number 21 is competition will increase as retired people will come back into the working space. They'll realize that being retired doesn't help them pay their bills. They have to pay the expenses. Retirement fund is not taking care of them. So they'll get back to the working space. That in turn will increase competition. That in turn will bring down the salaries. Okay. Which, before they were having shortage of workers because they give free money. Now government will say, I'm sorry, I can't give you free money. Get your ass back to work. There's no more working remote and all that work from home. Nobody's going to agree to that. Point number 22 is health will be a major issue, as people will be a lot more stressful, lot more pressure, fast and furious kind of lifestyle. Point number 23 is addictions will grow. They will try to, now the pharmaceutical companies and the giants will allow people to smoke weed and legalize marijuana and I don't know what all weeds and all that. So they will try new addictions. Why? Because people just want to let go. So whether it's smoking, vaping, tobacco, alcohol, entertainment, online media, movies, podcasts, all these addictions are going to grow because they just want people hooked back onto the glory days of the phone. So since Facebook is declining, all these giants are declining. So new addictions will come because people end of the day need replacement. Point number 24, there will be in the West increased number of gun violence, hate crime, racism, favoritism at work, and this will be copied in other non-Western countries. This was not there before. I'm not saying that non-Western countries will have gun violence, but crimes will increase because people are getting frustrated and fed up. Point number 25, a second-hand market is going to go tremendously, especially after the crash of the cryptocurrency markets. They have these GPUs, CPUs, computers. Along with that, people who purchased unwanted stuff to show off, all that will go into the second-hand market, and a lot of people will benefit from this, at least short term. Short term means 2 years at least. Point number 26, people will start wanting to get back onto the high horse, so they will ask for credit. So the countries, banks and all that, they will want to pump in cash because when there's a demand for it, and you give them, then the economy will run. So they will also manipulate the market there. So people will take on more credit, more loans, and yes, be careful. There'll be plenty of people who will run away. Point number 27 is people will start spending more for entertainment, relaxation, and to take care of their self because they are stressed. So if you're in this industry, again, you'll make money. Those film actors, actresses, all them during COVID who didn't make, they will start making money. And anyone who comes out with songs and dances and this and that, all these, even this yoga centers and all that, they will also start making money. Point number 28, there'll be a strong shift back to values rather than modernization. People will be fed up of modernization, this metaverse, this going into a virtual reality. No, people will say, I need to get back into the real world. People will be tired of buying more and more things. They'll say, I want to be minimalistic. People are tired of having 5 gadgets. They'll say, in fact, I don't want a gadget after some time. So back to basics, back to the same old values. Point number 29, many people will, the fascination to go to the West will not disappear, but more people will look into going back to either cheaper countries or countries that offer a little bit of stability and security. Because even in the West, there's complete mayhem. Even whether it's Russians, whether it's Ukrainians, whether it's Americans, they'll all want to go to a country that is quiet, maybe not as fancy, but they want security. Okay, so they may, and yes, they'll definitely go to cheaper countries because why should you spend 10,000 when you can get the same lifestyle for maybe 2,000, 3,000? Okay. Point number 30 is many rich people, especially employers and top level management, will retire, encash their retirement funds, and want to live a retired life because they don't want to take stress. Because end of the day, if a company collapses, they will be forced. This is my assumption that they'll be forced to take accountability, and they don't want that. So when they are at the top, and if they can predict that the market is going to go in tough times, they'll resign, take their money, bye-bye. Point number 31, conferences, seminars, and trainings will go tremendously. You'll see a massive, sharp rise in that. It's going to at least go 5 times or 10 times also. So if you're in this industry, even events, even AV, audiovisual, you're going to make money. If you're a MC, DJ, whatever. But then expect a lot more competition. Point number 32 is rise of the so-called certified coaches, trainers, online personalities, celebrity stars. Their certification is worth nothing but the toilet paper that you wipe your ass. But they'll show you stamped and all that. And people obviously fall for it because they look at new hero, new course, new something that will change their life. They will overpromise, underdeliver. It's just that too many people are going to go through these certifications. Okay, just be careful. Number 33 is more content creators are going to jump in, YouTube and all that. But and there are going to be many more channels that are going to come up, like TikTok and all that. But then because of the rise of so many online content creators, they will obviously start earning less. Okay, so when you have more competition, you earn less. Unless the only ones who will make more are the key players, like in gaming you had Ninja or the ones who have multi-million followers. They will make. The middle level, very few. Rest, 80% will find it very hard. Easy to get in, difficult to make money. Point number 34 is more people will take specialized training and coaching. That is like me. I offer very specialized. So more people are going to come. And they will pay a lot more money because they want to stand out from the rest of the crowd. They are tired of competing with masses. Point number 35, tons of black money is going to shift around from where it was. Like right now we are seeing in the property market. Very soon from the property market, when there's too many eyes over there, they will slowly start shifting to something else. What is that something else that we need to find out? Remember, before they invested in cryptos, then they moved to the property market of Dubai. From there, they will start moving to maybe Saudi or some. There'll be a lot of movement around. And my gut feeling is they will move into businesses, okay, especially in the Middle East, and quick change of cash and legalizing the cash so that they don't have to pay taxes. Number 36, almost 99% of all the unicorns that were praised and promulgated during the COVID, all will fizzle out, all will die out. So whoever invested money in unicorns, you're going to lose everything. And the only people who will be happy in the end are that guy, WeWork owner. He will make his money, take his exit parachute, and get out. Rest everyone will suffer, and including the employees, all will be laid off. Point number 37 is there will be more focus on employing people who are less creative, less unpredictable, and more stable. They would want someone who they can trust rather than someone who's creative, noisy, boisterous, and hard to manage. They don't want a someone who's difficult to handle, but he's amazing at his job. They'll be, why do I want this headache? I have enough headache. Might as well, instead of taking this one, princess, I'll take 10 people who lesser headache. So people will prefer that over massive creativity. Like, for example, like Elon Musk character. Nobody would want someone who's creative and amazing, but unpredictable and can't be controlled. Okay, by the way, Elon Musk is going to go on the decline. This is my gut feeling. Just catch me on that if I'm wrong. Point number 38 is Arab countries will start announcing ridiculous projects because they want to get back to the glory days. Saudis already started the trend. Qatar will follow. UAE will follow. They never learn. They'll keep going on. I wouldn't be surprised if Kuwait and Bahrain and Oman also think, okay, what can we do to also stand up? Okay. Africa will really, really grow. Africa is a market that is going to explode. Okay. Plenty of investing will be happening there, especially with China. India also may not, but Western countries will definitely look at them. They'll try to keep it quiet because they want all the profits without making a big noise. Point number 39 is governments will think of manipulating the market, even giving wrong, misleading data, because at the end of the day, they need to make sure profits are maximized, especially USA and its allies, very crooked. End of the day, they don't give a damn whether even their own people lose, as long as the people at the top make money. So now it's going to be West versus the East, or West and the rest of the world. The rest of the world is not going to keep quiet. They kept quiet enough. So West is going to find it very hard to bully anyone. Point number 40 is new political relationships will be formed. Too much of ass kissing from the West to other countries. They'll try to show that they are friends, but the East has already learned who their real friends are. And they know for a fact the West is only there to take advantage. Nobody's going to respect the West. And they will secretly form together indirectly to make sure that USA is brought down, no more, and the high level ranking. But obviously, because they have the maximum weapons, can't do anything directly. Okay, but you'll see a shift in the political landscape. And last but not the least, point number 41 is all NFT, crypto investors, all these launches of digital, currencies are almost all, I would say roughly maybe 5%. Minus the 5%, everyone else will lose their money. Anyone who tries to launch anything new will face massive strict regulations. It's not possible for them to survive and sustain like before. The glory days are over. And the ones who promoted big time, they'll keep quiet because they don't want, they don't want to pay the price. They don't want the arm of law coming and asking, why did you do this? So a lot of under the table payments. Please don't punish me like Mayweather, Kim Kardashian. And NFT will be worthless. Nobody will talk about it and it'll be a joke. Crypto, they will try to launch something new, but then again, it's going to be very hard. So will the price fluctuate? Slight up and down, but nothing like, at least for the next 5 years, nothing like the way it was. So I know many of you will say, okay, I'll hold on for 5 years. But then again, there's no guarantee it's going to be. I personally doubt it's never ever going to touch the record what it did. It was a once in a lifetime thing. At least for this generation, it's not going to go to, one Bitcoin from 16,000 to 70,000. Not going to happen. No way. All right. These are my thoughts. These are my predictions. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Good, bad, ugly. Love to hear from you. It's me signing off. You guys take care.